Welcome to a new series, Survival Guide. Yeah. We figure out how to go through bullshit and how to pick it apart and see the difference of what is good and disgusting to deal with. But people still do it for some reason. But now we have to combine these things together into a survival guide because at every moment you can lose things, you can lose resources, you can lose yourself, bro. You are always in danger. So, as a European, obviously I start with this location, with myself first. That's not to say that you're not subject to American culture all the time when you plug in yourself to the internets. And sometimes Russian and Chinese culture also leaks out to haunt us, basically. As it's the year of the purge, survival is our greatest priority. And even if the definition of survival is very complicated, what do you need? You need money, social interactions? What kind of resources are we looking for here? And how the fuck do you get them? The most important thing about survival is you think you're surviving when you're not. You never know when you're doing the right thing or you're just stepping into bullshit and sinking in. You just never know. Obviously, the best thing to do is stay out of trouble, not harm yourself in obvious ways. But there's a lot of steps potentially we have to make in order to make progress, in order to understand how to interact with the rest of the world to make positive changes, to at least spark fire when it's cold outside. It's not going to be actual fire, it's going to be something else. It's always something else than what we already have plenty of, you know. In the first episode, I'm trying to look for clues. What makes my life complicated? How do I find solutions? Is my life actually unique or very, very generic standpoints, and I have to do something, start from zero, basically. But I can actually stand on this platform. I can actually start from something and find value. And that's how it feels like. It feels like I haven't really started my life because I don't know how to live and I don't know what life is about. Which is, weird for me to be in almost 30 years old and not know how life works. But that's how it is. The amount of bullshit you collect tells you that you don't understand. You just do not understand. You're not doing things correctly. The moment you do things correctly is the moment you successfully survive and you don't actually rely a lot on someone else. You don't lean on someone to break them, basically. You can help them too. Obviously, the first clue is that we have to focus on one region, the Earth region of the planet, where people are exceptionally smart. But exceptionally smart means that they can hide themselves under layers and layers of borders, languages, and cultural, differences. One song that comes on top of all of them, and the most recent one, is Uncover. Once you listen to that, you will get the vibe of Europe, basically. I don't know who Zara is, but you have to understand that everything in Europe is actually hidden. Even the people themselves, the most powerful and most popular people, are the most well hidden. Like myself, And if you don't want me to be popular, then so be it. I'll be still hidden. It's just how it's gonna go. If you need 100 million subscribers to tell you that I am popular and I'm not supposed to be hidden, well, that's just a wrong opinion. You know, I might be the most fucking powerful of all. I might be the smartest of all. Who knows? There's no way to test, is there? There's no way to compare. There's a lot of question marks all of a sudden if there's a lot of things hidden. So potentially the first clue is to look for those powerful people, you know, around you. You gotta look. And maybe everyone is looking. Maybe everyone learned to look and to act a specific way. See, even the Eurovision doesn't actually grab the best of the best. It's impossible. People are stuck and people are hidden from bullshit because it's everywhere. And the smarter you are, the more, you know, deeper, under more layers you are hidden, basically. But at the same time, you don't want to be disconnected from the world. So you keep on working on yourself. Keep on inventing better things for yourself, specifically anything that works, fits your life. Especially the fucking button game, little fucking button game, bro. That you can underestimate as well. It depends what you're looking for. You know, what are your definitions? And this is something everyone has to talk about. What are your definitions? If you're just deciding on what's the most popular definition, what's on Google, when you type in the Google and you get your definition, that's not your definition. You're just an NPC, basically. You're not actually thinking for yourself. In Europe, you must think for yourself. That's clue number 2. You must think for yourself. And pretty much it, bro. You can't think for other people. You can't do the job. It is job to think for other people. You know, you have to get paid properly. If you're having a conversation, that conversation has to be easy cheesy, bro. Back and forth. Pretty fucking simple. When I'm having a conversation with a fucking idiot, they fall off very quickly. They can't keep up with me for obvious reasons. I try to respect. I try to give them the upper hand, because having conversations sometimes is a desperate move that you need. You think you're like socializing, but sometimes doesn't fucking work out. There's even like a magical thing Europeans can do. I'll get to that. Think for yourself and not other people. Unless they pay, you know. I hope you can tell the content here, the intensity rises twice, even more than before. We are having a conversation that's even deeper than just like surface layer questions about reality and stuff. Even something like Illuminati can now sound like fucking farts. Because it takes a lot of effort to even put meaning into a fucking triangle and an eye and an observation, bro. I have 2 eyes, so what about that? You know? What do I do about that? Anyone can master a skill and be top 1%. Anyone can do that too. So what about that? There's nothing special, my friend, about popular things, so to speak. But, you know, it's an American thing to become popular, to become like actually 1% of like having the numbers, so to speak. But some of it feels manufactured and some of it feels fake. Technically, you're dealing with 50-50 split. Some of them are real and some of them are fake, and you need to observe to decide which one is which. Who is trying to fool you with their popularity and who's actually using it to do good things. But that's not European way by any means. European way is to just get angry and disappear. Yeah, destroy everything. Everything you have just falls through, basically, because you get angry and like, you know. Very destructive force. All the way around. So you try not to, like, bother anyone. You try not to get into conflict and into fights. That's what purge and anarchy is all about, you know. As much as it's about attacking the government and getting rid of the authorities and all that shit, mostly it's about destruction, because that's what people do, you know, when they lose all sanity. And usually people don't even have sanity, because they're just running NPCs and activating them and saying that we're looking for anarchy. It's just gonna mean destruction. It doesn't matter how much you try to educate these people. It doesn't matter. Like, if you bring anarchy into your world, it's just going to result into destruction, and there's nothing noble about it, because that is not the way to survive Europe. You know, you're not supposed to create conflict against authorities. Authorities are actually helping you. Authorities are there to help. So government in Europe is completely different than government in America. In America, you fucking trash and shit on government anytime you can. You know, you spit on government, not on police, but government. You know, you don't like Trump, you don't like Joe Biden. That's just a trendy thing to do. But here, the government has to be carefully respected. You know, you don't want to step in their territory full of shit, you know. You just don't want to do that. You don't want to get into a fight, because you're going to be losing that fight instantly. You're going to be winning while losing at the same time, because they're cutting off your essential supplies if you're not a good person, of like oxygen and being able to connect with other people, because you don't deserve. If you're attacking the government here, you just don't deserve to actually live a normal life. You're going to lose all your sanity instantly, bro. So, clue number 3, avoid anarchy. Avoid lawless behavior, basically. You actually have to create even more rules for yourself. Even more things to follow. Every single day you wake up, you have to follow some kind of rules. That will help you, actually, and not curse you into worse things to happen in your life. It's way better to have some kind of routine. Do something, even simple things. When you're doing something, people actually align with your things. So we're going to get to that, potentially. You got to be loud and proud. This is probably clue number 4. 1 minute to just spit Mark Passio in the face, because he likes anarchy, and anarchist is a terrible personality trait who wants to just avoid rules and laws. And I understand that shit might work in America, so I can't actually spit in his face, unfortunately. It might work in America, but he's just not gonna create a special fucking safe haven from the government that easily. You know, it's still gonna be a very interesting puzzle to solve for him. And if he connects with wrong people, he's not gonna get the good results. So, yeah, still very different American thing. You must understand, bro. You will take the blue pill. Ha ha ha, there is no choice. You will wake up one day not willing to do things, for example. To take the red pill, though, is to choose between good and evil. Figure that out. Is it? I can put layers and layers on top to say the same thing over and over again, because it means the same thing. In America, all you have to do is decide between good and evil. Just simple decision to make every now and then. Is it good or bad? Whatever a celebrity is doing, is it good or bad? Is it a good celebrity or a bad celebrity? But it stacks so much. You must understand. So a celebrity can do, is it good? Oh my god, now it's a good celebrity, now it's a bad celebrity. And how the fuck do you keep track of this? And this is the power of ridiculous anxiety of like, one day this person can be good, next day they can be bad, then they can be good again and bad. And when you talk to them, they can be good, and they can be bad when you not talking to them. Yes. That's how fucking weird America is, bro. And their popular things. God damn it, bro. And for now, because we're in a survival series, part 1, and talking about my life, I can't help you guys. I'm sorry, if you're on the other side of the ocean and you're now realizing that there is good and evil and you have to decide over and over and over and over and over and over again, including my video, if it's good and evil, I don't know. I can't help you with that right now. It's very complicated. Over and over and over and over and over. Now you know. Now you know you entered Matrix. Now you entered an education system that you probably don't want to fucking fail, because your survival chances will get cut in half over and over again. And then you have to ask, making me popular, is it good or bad? Pressing that dislike button, is it good or bad? You just keep on trying to decide. So what do Europeans do? I mean, I'm looking for clues to find the hidden talents, to find the actual good, like the best of the best, right? So in a way, like, I do have to follow some American rules of deciding. But I like crafting definitions. I like knowing things. And that way you can be loud and proud, as I've said. And hopefully you remember. Because I was loud and proud about it too. Clue number 4. Apply a perspective and see if it's loud. And yes, that makes no sense for most people until I explain it, right? See if it's loud. But that's how you figure it out. You figure out by keep on asking yourself, what is the possible answer? And you apply the answer and see which one is the loudest. You know, keep applying a different perspective over and over again. Let's try different emoji. Loud, is that loud enough? No. Perspective. But it is glasses, so it's like perspective and stuff. Apply a perspective. You go outside. Maybe. You get to see more things that you don't normally see indoors. That's pretty cool. Apply a perspective. Exhausted, bro. That can't be right. Or is it? What if you relax your mind and let yourself wonder, and maybe cool things will happen. Maybe you'll find the right place and the right perspective that way. If you focus a little bit harder. We just don't know. We don't know what's loud. We don't know what the problem is. Right now we understand the survival is our problem. This is why I have to make videos, you know. This is why I have to create things so I can be loud and proud about it. And that way the information just flows naturally. I get to tap into it. But there's more. It doesn't help to have American Parallel working next to you, because there's different resource, right? So Americans have the popularity resource. If you are a good person, you're probably going to be raised in popularity over and over again. You get older, you get virtues, you're going to be bumping into a lot of people and proving that certain things are good and certain things are bad in a certain way. Sometimes, in that particular time, over there. Whoa, yeah. It's hard, guys. It's very difficult. But this is what gives you popularity. Like your positioning matters, your timing matters, everything fucking matters in that sense. So what is the equivalent in Europe? What do you get in Europe? Do you get quiet space? Because that's pretty good. Sounds like you fucking get stress. That's what you get, bro. Technically, if you're virtuous people, the more virtuous you are, the less people care about you. Less people care. So it's almost like the opposite of popularity. Oh, well, less people care. If you do enough good things and you're virtuous enough, less people care about more and more crazy things that you do. You know, you can do crazier things and people will care less because you're so virtuous. It's like, well, someone has to, you know, worry about it, but not me because I don't really have time. You know, it's weird. It's weird, but you like humble people to the point where they don't want to exist in your life for some reason. It's just like weird, but because they don't know how to interact with you. In America, they know how to socialize because socializing is easy, but to communicate, you humble people and they shut up. So they hope that someone is going to communicate with you because they shut up. You know, they give you like a highway of information to flow in. More people are going to be shutting up and leading the powerful ones to meet up with each other, you know. Something like that. It's a little bit easier when it's quiet, when it's a forest, to find another human being in a forest. If everything is a tree and not a fucking demon, you know. So, clue number 5. People are more likely to be trees and not demons if you are virtuous. And that word is very complicated. Well, we did it, guys. You're gonna be less scared living in a forest in complete wilderness, basically, where survival is pretty weird. Because you think, like, you understand how life works, but you don't. You don't understand anything. Because you have to keep on doing everything yourself. And every single time you come up to a person, they turn into a tree, as if that's the best thing they can do. They can only be very aggressive and very offensive to you, but they choose to be and turn into a tree. And that's like a nice gesture, unfortunately. So, makes it easier to find the people, the right people, who don't turn into a tree, who turn into something better. Hidden talent. Any little thing you fucking get from a person that's more valuable than a fucking tree can give you, you have to chase that shit down. You gotta fucking nail it down, bro. You gotta chase it like a rabbit. So now we know we're tangling the clues together to get the 6th clue. Alright? Any value you get from a person makes them a target. Alright? And you better fucking pick that shit up, bro. Yes, all of a sudden in the forest, now you're a hunter. Will you manage to get through and establish a form of communication with that person that apparently have generated some kind of form of value? Very likely, in Europe, if you can find that shit, it will continue generating value just like that. You know, just naturally. And that is a pretty important word. Naturally. So not only that's a clue number 6, but clue number 7 about that person in particular. A target is a source that generates a resource naturally and is trying to decide where to give the resource, what to do with it, how to exchange it, what's the value of the resource. It's gonna happen, my friends. Someone's gonna bump into you and try and give you a thing, and if it's valuable to you, you have to nail it down. You have to figure out what to do with it, what to do with that person, how to establish a communication. And goddammit, that's fucking scary, bro. Now we're getting to scary territory. I have to actually talk to a person, bro? That's crazy. It's not fucking socialism of America. Talking to a person is scary and very rare. And yes, you can talk to your friends, you know, because you rely on each other. You lean on each other. Like trees can lean on each other, apparently. With root systems, I would imagine. But you cannot communicate outside of your, you know, comfort zone because it's very difficult, very complicated. You're just not going to be able to do that. And I see people do that sort of naturally, but don't worry about it. They can't talk to me. They can't get to me. Now, there's a thing called arrogance. That's it. There's a thing. I hope that helps. You didn't help me. I still don't know what arrogance means. But I know what the difference is of a low-level person trying to communicate with a high-level person, of an M&M of YouTube, where it's just like a circle with a letter. That's your avatar, that's your identity. Yeah, I don't think so. If a person isn't capable of representing themselves properly and just walking around naked with nothing to offer, you can't take criticism from that person. You can't get to know them. This is how you talk. This is how you communicate. By what we create is our communication. You know, this is how we communicate. It's just how it is, bro. That is clue number 8. The best way to communicate is through creations, because creations can be copied and pasted across the internet. Congratulations. But it's not about how popular your creation is, because that can be bad. That can be an American question of, oh, it's a school shooting again, but this one is popular. Yeah, it's one of those. That's the desperation. School shooting is just desperation to be popular in a way. It's just a brain surge of like, oh, this is a very cool thing. It's like a very popular. I'm like attacking the population with my gun. It's like, wow. No, you're doing it's the wrong gun and the wrong population. Like, relax, bro. Relax. How the fuck do people not teach them that lesson? It's the wrong gun and wrong population. If you want to screw people over, you can do much better than a school shooting. I'll tell you that much. Oh, look, YouTube Rewind. I mean, my Rewind hits 13,000. What a miracle. Sometimes the stupidest of clues is understanding that you're just one person. And life is very complicated. And sometimes life communicates you in the most weirdest of ways. Yes. There can be glitches. So keep your eyes peeled. And basically, think about anything. You know, like, you're not supposed to discriminate information by all means. If someone is willing to talk about flat Earth, well, fucking listen. If someone is willing to talk about science, fuck it. Fuck those guys, bro. Fuck that shit, bro. I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk about silence, bro. Silence? How the fuck do you talk about silence? It's bullshit, alright? So, there are some things you can't talk about, which is about talking about not talking about things. Okay, so like let's keep it clean around here. I think time is up. Yes, 30 minutes, my friends. If we want to survive, we have to be able to be even faster. Faster than before, and use these clues to figure out what the next step's supposed to be, what the next target. If we're trying to survive, everything is fast. And that's technically the, you know, clue number 10. And the final clue is because you're thinking for yourself, because you're on your own, you gotta be fast. All right? You gotta be friends with Sonic and collect all those emeralds, whatever the fuck it takes to be fast. You know, the reason why Sonic is collecting rings is because he doesn't fucking want to get married. He just likes rings, okay? He's running away from marriage very badly, from Amy or whatever the fuck the biggest fan is. You gotta run. You gotta run from bullshit. Marriage is the biggest bullshit in Europe as well. So, anything that slows you down is bullshit, basically. And that's the easiest way to figure it out. What bullshit is, even like the definition of it. That's what it is, bro. It doesn't have to be a problem. It has to be a problem to you. Something that slows you down. Something that turns your life into bullshit because, like, I wish I could do this, but I can't because I have to do this first and then that. You know, that's a slowness effect. Bending your way of life, of how you're supposed to live. You're supposed to be very efficient. If something fails, you should be able to grab the next best thing very quickly. So, be prepared for major things. Now, the funny thing is, in Europe, nothing happens. No earthquakes, no volcanoes. Shut the fuck up, Iceland, okay? There's no natural disasters, basically. Barely any floods. Like, it's mild in comparison to the rest of the world. It's weird, though, right? Well, the only natural disaster is that there is a north, and that's it. But Russia is way up north. You know, Russia is way cold. How the fuck did they survive there is a big question mark. You know, you ask these Chinese and Russian people and Indian people, how do they survive? I mean, like, it's a whole nother world, my friends. Now you might ask one last question. What about money, bro? What about money? First of all, I have a feeling that in Europe, building a business is actually a lot easier than I imagine. But I don't know. It's just like, it's meant to be easy, I would imagine. You take a product and sell it for more, as a more expensive product. I'm just saying. But I don't think there's enough fertile ground for anything anymore. This is why we have to talk about survival, and money is just something you have to have. Something that everyone else talks about, but not me, for obvious reasons, because I have no fucking idea, my friends. That one's weird. Money has to be literally reinvented. I don't even want to talk about it, because I don't think it works anymore. Maybe it's my final boss. There's something that I will actually have to fight against. Just to get enough of it so I can make better money. You know, my final boss. Interesting. I mean, that's kind of the spice of my life, is that I kind of have enough money, I kind of have enough freedom, but I don't have an income. I just have a slap in my face that results in more money in a way. It's just like I can't spend anything. I have to be in a constant survival situation. And I have to pretend that I need government for that. It's just like, everything is twisted and stupid. You must understand. I feel like I'm living a wonderful life, but I can't really connect with anyone. I can't do anything. It's still a forest. I'm still disappointed in humans around me. And if I want to reach the next level, I have to know how to survive living in this fucking weird forest where anyone can turn into a demon and hate me a lot harder than I was hated before. Where I need to know what my self-defense tactic will be against those people, because there's always something you can do. Always ways to bend the will of other people who want to hurt you. But most importantly in survival, it's not about surviving against big threats. It's surviving against the threat of losing some kind of essential resource, right? So again, this can be sanity, this can be social problem solving, that you get to learn. I watch a lot of TikTok, but that doesn't mean that I'm like applying most of the things in my life. I don't actually find that much for it to be valuable, because I don't even buy things online right now. Like, I'm just not worried about that shit. So perhaps there's something bigger and more questionable about all of this that I'm trying to uncover. So yeah, that is the end of this episode. We're going to dig a lot deeper, and I'll be constantly thinking about this series in a way so I can contribute as much as possible, and again, dig for more parts. And then we can construct something really powerful. And maybe if enough people join in, I can help them survive too, in various ways. And yeah, potentially people in Russia now that things went too far, they understand. That's Russian roulette started killing people. Now they understand. Maybe I shouldn't fucking play this game anymore. Maybe I shouldn't let Putin just have control or whatever. Russians just let things happen. Whatever happens, let's just let things happen. It's just better for everyone. It's better economy that way, But sometimes Russian roulette happens where, let's just let things happen, and someone dies in the end. And now, how the fuck do you reverse the process? Because a lot of things can start dying because that one thing died, So you can see there's a lot of things to uncover. A lot. And they're weird. And it's fucking weird. Holy shit, guys. The end of part 1.